With the heavyweight category lacking stars previously, the introduction of this British star reinvigorated the weight class and brought it back to its rightful place. A knockout superstar. His name is on everyone's lips, but little do they know. Do you know the untold story of this heavyweight star? Anthony Joshua was born on October 15, 1989, in Watford, England. The young Joshua excelled in football and as an athlete in high school. He was introduced to boxing at the age of 14, but soon he felt it wasn't for him. Outside of school activities, Joshua found himself in the wrong crowd. In 2007, he was banned from his hometown of Watford and moved to London. Here, he rekindled his interest in boxing and began to show enormous skill and potential. In 2012, he represented Great Britain as an amateur. He went on to claim the gold medal against the Italian Roberto Camarel. The following year, he became a pro, and his first opponent on the big stage was Emanuele Leo. In just the first round, Joshua displayed his might by winning by technical knockout. His next fight was against the English Paul Butlin. Joshua was incredibly fast for a muscular man. His jabs and straight punches were effective in his fight against Butlin. Joshua's dominance was unquestionable, and Butlin suffered heavily. In the second round, the fight was stopped when the referee saw that Butlin couldn't defend himself. Joshua was awarded another technical knockout. With every fight, Joshua made the world aware of his talent. In his fourth bout, he battered Dorian Dorch, winning by a second-round technical knockout. Everyone who got into the ring with Joshua ended up leaving bruised and battered, while Joshua left without a scratch. In just his ninth fight, a chance to become a world champion appeared for Joshua. He would face Denis Bakhtov for the vacant WBC International Heavyweight title. As many of his previous fights had ended, a second-round knockout was enough to win him the WBC International Heavyweight title. This was the first of many to come. Next up was international glory for the British man. Joshua went head-to-head with the undefeated Scottish boxer, Gary Cornish. The winner would take home the Commonwealth Heavyweight title. In a highlight of his career, Joshua knocked out Cornish in just 90 seconds. It was unlike anything before. The vacant British heavyweight title was up next to claim, as it was confirmed that Dillian Whyte was willing to put his undefeated record on the line. The two competitors had once faced each other as amateurs. Whyte prevailed at that time. Whyte went into this confident, and in the second round, he instilled fear in Joshua. This was the first time anyone had troubled Joshua in the ring. But with the mindset of a fighter, the tide changed. In the seventh round, a devastating right hook to the temple, followed by an uppercut, sent Whyte down for good. A pivotal moment in Joshua's career came in 2016. A shot at one of the big four belts. Charles Martin, the IBF heavyweight champion, would be the obstacle to overcome. The fight took place at the O2 Arena in London. In the first round, Joshua kept the champion at bay, cautious of his effective jab. In the second, a trademark straight from Joshua sent Martin to the floor. The fighter summoned the courage to get up, but immediately he was sent to the floor with the same move. This time, there was no getting up. A super fight against Klitschko would test the resolve of the new IBF champion. The fight was held at Wembley, with 90,000 people present. A new record. This was a fight to usher in the new age of boxers. Fight to show the world he was the new king of the heavyweight division. The fight was back and forth. Klitschko showed why he reigned for years as the king of the heavyweight division. Joshua showed why he was the future of boxing. In the fifth round, a combination from Joshua sent Klitschko to the mat. But soon, Joshua would face the same fate as the renowned right hand of Klitschko knocked down Joshua. This was the first time Joshua was sent to the floor. In the 11th round, an uppercut from Joshua started an all-out onslaught. Joshua bombarded Klitschko with blows that saw him knock constantly. Eventually, the referee intervened and stopped the fight. A technical knockout win for Joshua. A statement won to announce himself to everyone. Next up was a title defense against Andy Ruiz Jr. This was supposed to be a routine win against a much smaller opponent. In the early rounds, Joshua dominated as expected and even knocked down Ruiz. But Ruiz wouldn't give up so easily as soon as he began to gain momentum. In the third round, Ruiz surprisingly knocked down Joshua. In the seventh round, Ruiz rocked Joshua, and the British superstar couldn't go on. A monumental upset was witnessed around the world. Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua. Joshua asked for a rematch. 6 months later in Saudi Arabia, a hard-fought battle saw Joshua reclaim his titles after the 12th round. Back as a champion, Joshua defended his titles against Kubrat Pulev spectacularly, with a knockout win in the 9th round. Looking to unify the big titles, Joshua wanted to take on Fury, but fate wouldn't have it as Fury was to exercise his rematch clause against Wilder. But this paved the way for one of the biggest fights in the heavyweight division in recent years. Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk. Usyk was the former undisputed champion of the cruiserweight division, and so far he has an unblemished record. Usyk was known as a master technician in the ring. The fight took place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, a fight of gladiators. The Ukrainian proved difficult as he adjusted his game plan, fighting more cautiously. His jabs proved to be a huge problem for AJ, and on defense, Usyk immobilized Joshua's lethal left hand. After intense and competitive boxing for 12 rounds, Joshua lost his second ever fight. Usyk prevailed by a unanimous decision. This would not be the end of the clash, as a rematch clause was in the fight's contract. A year later, in 2022, a rematch took place in Saudi Arabia. Joshua was better and improved in this fight, but still, Usyk's frequent jabs proved to be an issue for the Englishman. Nevertheless, Joshua didn't go down without a fan. With the two fierce boxers giving it their all, no knockout could be achieved. Usyk prevailed yet again with a split decision. Usyk also broke the record for most punches landed by an opponent against Joshua. Enraged by the loss, Joshua threw two of Usyk's belts to the floor and stormed out of the ring. He came back to the ring and went on a rant that confused everyone. Eventually, he took the mic and heaped praise on Usyk, acknowledging his defeat to a superior opponent. This was a huge step back, but Joshua has begun his recovery journey and remains one of the best boxers on the planet. His 4 opponents after his loss to Usyk have all been triumphs for Joshua. Many doubted the potential of Joshua, thinking a man so muscular was all about showing off and couldn't compete against the greats. However, it has been a thing for Joshua to prove the critics wrong. With an incredible left that knocks out his opponent and rapid hands, 24 of his 28 wins have been achieved by knockout. Joshua has also developed a relationship with a second-round knockout. Despite his losses, he has always shown the resolve to bounce back, and he remains one of the faces of boxing in the world today. He is a star, and with years ahead of him, there's certainly more to come. Thanks for watching our video today. If you liked the video, please subscribe for the hottest boxing content out here. We have more boxing videos coming your way, so be on the lookout.